welcome back. We're gonna actually do some real progress on the subfloor. I just wanted to give you guys a little update as to where we were and what I was working on. My boss, there we go, I like that. Hi, we're Bruce
and Cheryl.
We moved from California to get away from the hustle
and bustle
of a fast-paced lifestyle
and a not-so-perfect political climate
to enjoy a slower speed,
better values,
and a rich Christian atmosphere. Join us as we discover our new environment, rebuild our new-to-us home on 2.5 acres,
and enjoy the scenic southern landscape of central western Georgia.
All right, guys, welcome back. Got a little bit accomplished today, and I'll be working on more throughout the day. This is Thursday, and typically I've got discipleship tonight, but we had to cancel the last 2 Thursdays because of things going on and Cheryl being out of town and all. So I've got all evening to work on this. So we're going to actually do some real progress on the subfloor. And this morning, y'all know from my past videos that I damaged my right knee by falling through the floor joist. So now, all of a sudden, my left knee has been like on fire. I can barely walk on it. It's almost worse than my right knee was after I almost snapped it off. So I don't get it. But today is a better day. When I got up, it was a little sore, but I started walking around on it a little bit, and it's nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday. So anyway, don't know what's going on there. But let me turn things around and show you where I'm at, what I've done. Let's take a look. So I think you all saw that I got this temporary wall in. And I did it so that I could figure out where my vent line was going to come through. And I've got that line in there. I had to go underneath this morning and start building that. I had to put the a 332Y on the main line underneath and see if I can't make it line up with what I've got coming down through the floor. So I was under there working on that. Plus, I went ahead and got this last section of underlayment, Tyvek, whatever I've been calling it. I know it's not Tyvek brand, because Tyvek is a brand name, but nevertheless, that is underneath there all the way to the triple. So now pretty much all of the underlayment is done to the triple beam. And then I also did this the other night, and I think I got that on video, where I showed that I had finished that one all the way to that wall, with, well, the exception of the last little bit right up against the wall right there. These things, I got a little. You see, all my ductwork is ready to go to start putting that stuff in. I'm anxious to get that started. So basically, what's going to happen today? It's lunchtime right now. I'm going to go eat lunch. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start throwing insulation in all these bays right here. There's nothing stopping me. So if I get 6 bays here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? If I get those insulated, then I can put another sheet right here. Well, that's great. But if I insulate even further, you got all these, I can get this next sheet right there, I can get the next sheet here, and then as I insulate all of those cavities right there, I can start getting those sheets. By the end of the day, who knows what can be accomplished. I've got the whole night to do it. As long as my leg holds out, and it seems to be holding out okay for the moment. I mean, it's sore, but it's not horrible. So we're insulated and subfloored all the way up to this point. So the temp wall is out at the moment because I needed to repair. I made a boo-boo when I went to put in this sheet right here. I cut it too wide, and when I tried to drop it in after putting glue on it, I should have test fit it first, my bad. And it was too close to the wall, and I had to pound it down and tore up the back edge, getting it in there. So I then came back and saw cut that piece out and dropped in a new piece. It's not that big a deal. I mean, part of it is outside the wall by the front or by the rear door, which, by the way, we talked about making this a French door entry off of the screened-in porch, or what will be a screened-in porch in the back. We've since changed our mind because of cost, and we're going to do a slider. And actually, thinking about it, I think I'm going to like the slider better. Anyway, so most of the rest of that is going to be underneath the shower, and I've got to put a mortar bed, you know, a pre-slope and a final slope. So it's a pretty good sized mortar bed on all this, so it's going to solidify that pretty good. I'm not worried about it. So anyway, so that's been rectified, and then I'm going to paint the floor. So what you see over here, this gray, that's what I'm painting the floor. It's a sealer designed for OSB. It's like a deck paint stain sealer, interior exterior product. So anyway, so let's take a look at the other side here. So this is how close we're getting to having all the subfloor down. I've got a few more bays that have to be insulated. Like these guys here, I'm going to insulate all the way out to the quadruple. And then these 3, 4 right here. And then I'll insulate that strip right there as well. Only because this next piece that's going on right here will actually go all the way up to the quadruple like the first piece did. So it actually winds up leaving just one 2x4 exposed where the next piece goes on. So it comes all the way up to that line right there. And so I need to have that insulated to do that. So it won't be long before I can start building my end wall and get it ready to stand up, and then can schedule a weekend with my buddies and my son, and we can knock out that end wall, pull it off, finish the subfloor, put it up, solidify it, and shear it. I'm going to try and have all of my my ladder blocking done, which I know I've talked about the ladder blocking before. Hey, hello, I'm over here. This thing doesn't seem to know where I'm at. There you go. Anyway, I'll show you an example of ladder blocking real quick. So that's ladder blocking for this 2x6 wall right here. So there's other places I'll have to do ladder blocking, like right here. You can see that I'll need ladder blocking, and it'll have to go all the way across because that wall is in line, this one long wall across here, and it'll be the one that separates the master bedroom, master bath from the rest of the house. And which we will be working on that fairly soon, because the idea now is once I get that end wall done, my subfloor's down, the end wall is up, and I've sheared the outside of that, then before I start building the bathroom walls, or maybe in unison, it's not like it takes that long to build a wall, this wall will get built all the way across, and I'll put the doorway in it and probably get a temporary door that I can put in it. That way I can make the whole interior house section my storage room and workspace, get all my tools up in here. That'll allow me to clean out the garage. So I don't know if y'all pay attention much to Georgia, but Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, get a lot of tornadoes through here. Why I moved here, don't ask. But this particular town that I'm in, they don't typically get that kind of weather. for whatever reason, it sits kind of in a bowl, and the tornadoes never went through here, or like rarely ever did tornadoes come through here. But since we've moved here, they've had 4 tornadoes that ripped through here. Well, because of that, they're doing a lot of reconstruction on all these areas that got hit by the tornado, and roofs ripped off of houses and houses dropped down. We had a church, I don't know if you caught that in a past video I think I talked about, or maybe on Facebook page or something, about a church that one of our members, one of our elders or deacons, was ordained as a pastor, and then he was given this church to run over in West Point, and the tornado, one of the tornadoes came through and practically leveled the church, and so they're starting all over again. So with all of that construction that's going on in all these areas, this inspector was up and down our road and just happened to be driving by that one day, looked over, saw that there was construction going on in this house, pulled in to check it out. He could see in, the garage door was up because I was inside having lunch and I was working, so everything was open. I've got windows on the front of the house that are brand new. The front is sheared, which was all new. And he could look in the door and see that the inside was gutted. So it's not like he was snooping or anything, and it's not like anybody told him. It was pretty obvious, you could see it. And he's all, hey, you don't have a permit for this. I checked my records and you don't have a permit. Well, you saw my rant in the video. So nonetheless, that's how all that went down, and why it went down. Otherwise, I don't think I would have gotten caught. And obviously the people who did the work that they did here, they didn't get caught because they'd have straight got shut down. This would not have flown in anyone's imagination. But that's water under the bridge, right? Because now this is a whole different kind of structure. This is no longer a mobile home. This is a 1,400 square foot house. It's got a raised foundation. That's all. It may not be the traditional way to do a raised foundation. I mean, if I was doing this from scratch, I would have poured a concrete wall all the way around the perimeter, had a sub-basement or sub-floor area that was clean, well protected with the vapor barrier and sealed. Probably would have sat a little higher than we are because of how close it is at one end. But nowadays, they don't even let you do this. I guess when they set mobile homes now, they actually make you level off the ground, and you have to put the mobile home on a level pad. Good. I'll be back out here tomorrow, Sunday, so we'll be at church on Sunday. Or I'll be at church tomorrow. And Monday I'll pick it back up. And I think the plan is on Monday, I want to try to make sure that I get the subfloor areas back here that need to be finished off in order to get me to that quadruple beam. So I got to insulate these couple of cells and then get that subfloor down. And then I can start, I can drill my hole and set my closet ring, and I can start my under plumbing, my waste and vent plumbing, and start building that out. I'll have a similar issue, which I'll have to probably throw my bottom plate down on the floor here, and I can actually have it drilled out and ready to go so that when I go to build this wall, but I'll have to lay it out and actually drill a hole through it for my 2-inch and then line up my 2-inch vent pipe. And then everything else will be a piece of cake. This other line, I've got to finish running down and catch my sink, my kitchen sink and stuff, but man, we're pretty close to putting in some walls, baby. It's exciting. Anyway, good afternoon. So it's Tuesday. Cheryl's coming home today from California, and I got some stuff accomplished. It's not a ton, but, and I always say that, but it is progress. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So I don't know if I did any updates since this, but As you can see, clearly the floor on this side, or this end of the home, has been painted, sealed. It basically encompasses all of the master bedroom and master bedroom bath, so that I could reinstall that wall, which I had said that it was temporary. Now it's permanent. That wall is in, nailed in, screwed in, locked in. I do have a few more boards I need to put in up above here to frame that out. And then I started on the separator wall between the bedroom, bathroom, and the rest of the house. All the ladder bracing is in. I know some of you people are going to look at this and go, why so many blocks? Why so much blocking? I'm an overkill person. I just need to know that that's solidified. And that's pretty solid. That ain't going nowhere. And a lot of the material that I'm using is scrap that would have been thrown away. It's old floor joist and old wall framing. There was some 2x4 wall framing. And I would have thrown this stuff away. I repurposed it. Nonetheless, here's the exciting part. So if you notice, that waste vent line is actually glued in place, which means that underneath it is also glued in place. Now, I know I wasn't able to take you guys under there and show you the work while I was doing it, but here, let me show you a snapshot. So in that picture, you see that I was able to do the tie-in point. And then the next picture is the ducting being tied in. So I've actually now got two boots ducted to their Y branches, and I've got to then connect the two Y branches together, and I will have created the first section. One of those runs, it's an 8-inch tie-in between the two Y branches, and I need a piece of 8-inch to tie the next Y branch together, and then a piece of 10-inch to tie those two Y branches together. I'm holding off on that only because the last thing that's missing, let me show you, is the drain. The shower drain needs to be installed and connected, and I need to be able to get to that spot clearly and easily. Once that's done though, there's nothing stopping me from tying the rest of the ductwork together underneath there. Then I also repositioned these lights in the ceiling in a row. They were before staggered from over here and then staggered up and then staggered up to the middle. Now all four of them are in the middle, and it's giving much better light. And they are operated now by the pull chain. Which is maybe a hassle, but the tie-in point is an extension cord up there, and I didn't want it hanging down in front of my face all the time and running into it, so that's fine. Pull chains are fine for right now. So obviously you saw the floor, subfloor that I put down. The cool thing is, that's all the pink I've got left. I've just got these couple of bays here to insulate, and I'll insulate all the way up to that skinny one right there, and then this skinny one right here gets insulated, and then by day's end there's going to be two more pieces of subfloor in. That one right there and that one right there. I think before long, as long as this weather's holding out with not a lot of rain, we did get a little bit of rain the other day, but we haven't been getting the torrential downpours that we had been getting, the monsoon type rains. So I'm going to probably cut in these windows. I do have to make one more thing in order to put in the kitchen window. When I did this, I set it up so I could either have the window up high or the window down low, depending on whether I wanted the countertop to flow into the window so that there's no need for backsplash and the window is level with the countertop. We discussed it, and after discussing it, we decided to move the window up. So when I put in the header, I put the header in where the window would be if I had the window at the higher elevation with a backsplash rather than the counter level. And then if I put it at the lower level, all I had to do was hack out a little bit of the jack studs and then drop another header in there to drop it down. As it is, we decided the other way, so now all I have to do is do a filler. Nonetheless, I still have to build that so that I can put that window in. I'm not going to bother with the door behind me, the sliding glass door, which originally was going to be a French door. Now it's going to be a sliding glass door. I'm not going to bother with that right now. We're not really ready for that. Front door, back door, not going in for right now. But I will put in this window right here, which is for the water closet. I won't complete the wall here that separates the master bedroom and bath. You know, this wall right here. I won't complete that guy all the way across yet. I want to be able to get the rest of my subfloor down, which means I'll have to get all the rest of the underneath plumbing done and the HVAC stuff done, and then close off the rest of the Tyvek or underlayment material where I left it open for access, and then insulate and then finish the subfloor at this end first. Then I'll be at that point where I'm ready to have my walls built, my subfloor ready to go in, and then I'll call for that weekend trip with a bunch of guys to come over, and we'll do our thing. We'll knock out this wall, we'll finish the subfloor, rebuild the new, or stand up the new walls, shear them off, and I'm good to go. And that should all happen within the next couple of weeks, barring, of course, any issues with injuries, sickness, laziness, all the things that I've been suffering from over the last 9 months. Well, to be honest and fair, it's not like the 9 months is because of sickness, injury, or laziness. Some of that has to do with weather, rain and heat, humidity, ability to get companies out here, get materials out here. There's been a plethora of issues. And the fact that I am very meticulous in taking my time in certain areas and not rushing anything so that I know that I'm fully thinking through stuff, because building from scratch is one thing. Anybody who's half a carpenter and has built anything or been part of a project building anything knows that that's easy. Take something that's all messed up, I won't explain the acronym, but let me just say, take something that's FUBAR and then turn it around and make it right. That's a challenge, and that's what I've been dealing with. So it is what it is. This is where we're at, and we're just going to keep moving forward. I got to pick up Cheryl at 11 o'clock tonight at the airport. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can't get the insulation stuff done and get some more subfloor down in here, and then start working on the plumbing, or at least opening up the floor and starting the ability to do the floor, the plumbing on the other bathroom. So that's where I'm going to start right now. Talk to you soon. All right, guys. It's a little bit later in the day, and I'm getting ready to set my second sheet of subfloor. And this is going to be the last sheet of subfloor that I can set until I get the rest of the plumbing underneath and the HVAC done. And then I can close up that opening that I left, and I'll have to put underlayment, staple it on, and then I'll have to insulate, and then I can subfloor. And then, of course, we'll be able to build our walls and get ready for that end wall deal. Let me show you what I'm talking about, where I'm at. And I think I might. So I just set this sheet right here I talked about. So as you can see in this spot right here, that last sheet that I put on here will have to be driven in. So I probably won't get a whole lot of glue on that quadruple beam. I can get some on this last one here, but I'm gonna have to drive that sheet in from the outside. And I have to do the same thing. Well, no, well, yeah, I'll have to do the same thing every other one all the way down, because after I close this off and put all the rest of the sheets down, I'll have to leave it staggered like this. So a sheet up to the quad, like that, and then a sheet that's shy of it, then a sheet on the quad, then a sheet shy, then a sheet on and off and on. That's the only way I can think of to do this and be able to have all the subfloor basically in, so I can start building interior walls. Start building the end wall here to get ready to put up, and then when it's ready to go, I can probably build like this intersect wall right here for the bedroom. So it's coming along. Not much has changed other than that since this morning. I did go underneath, like I said, and do some duct work. I think I mentioned that in the last video. So I got 2 Y branches on with a 6-inch duct going. So there's duct work connected to that boot there and this boot here. And it wraps around and connects to a Y branch. And this one does the same thing. It wraps around, connects to a Y branch. And I can actually connect Y branch to Y branch now. But I guess I'll have to do the low crawl when it comes time to doing that 7-inch, because it's a ways off. That 7-inch will actually come through the floor down here underneath. It'll come through and then come up in the laundry room when we get that done. So anyway, trying not to make you dizzy, but I got to move around. And I'll probably wind up, by the end of the day, I'll probably wind up putting this top plate, attaching that to the ladder blocking and have it ready to go. So then all I got to do is drop the bottom plate and then just start filling in between them. And good afternoon, guys. We're back again on another installment of, hey, check it out. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. Progress is happening, as you've seen recently. I'm not sure if I updated this one, so let me turn it around and show you what's going on. So the other day I got a new sheet down on that section, and then I got this one down, and then opened up the return hole, and now I have my bathroom floor in, basically, with the exception of that little sliver right there, which would encompass the boot. That's the boot hole right there. And got the closet ring down, and already got some of the line built underneath there. And then I decided, you know what? That hole right there for the return is plenty big enough for me to get in and out. I'll use that as my escape hatch to get down there with parts. So I went ahead and Tyvek'd off the rest of this. I didn't go, somehow I cut a little short, so it didn't quite make, it didn't leave enough to get all the way to the end there. So I'll just have to fill that in with a little short piece. That one I never did tie in properly, the end of that one. So I just kind of need to build those, you know, pull those up and tighten those off and put a little pocket in there on this last one. But that allows me now to get all of the insulation up to the quadruple beam here, get all of that insulated, which would mean I can put all the rest of the sheets of subfloor down up to this quadruple. So I'll have, you know, every other pocket will be like this, where I'll have to drive in the last piece. This one obviously won't have to be driven in because I can lay it right butt end on there. So I put on the end piece, then I drive this one in, then I put on this piece, and then I drive the next one. You got the picture going across. Also, I've got I got my waistline, so there's my drain waste for the sink, and there's my vent pipe for all of it, which I've got to build, tie those together and get them ready to build up. But I'll leave them at that height so that I can drill holes in my bottom plate and then set those over it. And it's not too tall that I'll be tripping over them and stuff, because I won't be putting that wall down until after we get this end wall done right here. All right, so that's coming though soon. The sooner I get the rest of the subfloor down, the sooner I can schedule that, because I've got to build the walls and have them here in place ready to go up and all that. So the other thing that's exciting that's happening is today I'm going to put that window in. Can do, which I might do today, depending on how long it takes, but I might go ahead and put in that window, which would be kind of cool. You see I already prepped holes in the corners so that I can cut out the opening. So that's what I'm up to. That's what's going on today. And I'll check back when I get these things done. I do have discipleship tonight, so I'll only be able to get so far before I have to go clean up and all that. And I'm hoping that I can at least have all the insulation down, so tomorrow morning I can, while it's still cool out, I can come out here and put those couple of sheets of OSB down, subfloor. I need to go make a Home Depot run so I can get the parts that I need to finish off the waste and vent lines for this bathroom and get them ready to tie in across, because that's all there is, this bathroom right here, and then just goes across and ties into the main down there. Okay, told you I would check back in, so I'm checking back in. So I didn't get all the things I wanted to get done. I didn't get the floor insulated. It took me a few minutes to get this hole opened up to put in the window, because these bits that I bought for my router, for whatever reason, the top bearing, the guide bearing that, you know, guides you around the opening, the framed opening, so that you're just cutting the material, the sheeting material that's outside, it kept spinning off. I was lucky I found the pieces, to be honest with you, but it turns out that they don't tighten them on there very well. So I got a good tightening on it, and it held together this time. Of course, I had to keep stopping and checking it to make sure it didn't blow apart again. But there we go. So you can see Cheryl standing by the window. Give everybody a good Carol Merrill. Hi. There you go. Yep, showing off the window. Anyway, so let me scoot back here. I'm standing on floor joists, so I need to be careful I don't trip myself up. So there you go. There's the bedroom window. This is the spare bedroom. This will be the office. And of course, that stick that you see climbing up the window right there will be gone. Because to be quite honest with you, I'm tired of seeing this old power pole sitting there. Huh? Well, I'm not going to do it from up there. Oh, yeah, you mean don't drop it on myself? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm going to try not to. tell you. So do me a favor. Yeah, reach out the window and push on it. Push it that direction. And there it'd be.
I didn't want it to fall on the propane tank. Put that white insulator.
Yeah. I had a feeling you would. Take that in. Falls off. You can do it. You can do it. Just take it in. Okay, tray. There we go. What? Well, do that. So, very first window in the back of the house too, which is nice. Yeah. So we got 2 more windows that we can put in here. Again, the kitchen window I won't do till I get that bottom header piece in there, like I mentioned before. But we will cut in tomorrow that window for the water closet, which reminds me I need to clean up the rest of that stuff. And we're gonna call it for the night because we got discipleship tonight. Come back, I'll come back and get it. And then I think I mentioned this before, but that big old propane tank she was worried about dropping the pole on, it's moving, it's going back over there just into the tree line. So, cleaning up my mess. Oh, Sonny's already sitting on the down pole. He's thinking, hey, this is really cool, man. This thing used to be standing up and now it's laying down. So he said he's sitting on it. Pa Bella Flower Farm and Nursery, which is our backyard. They're opening up. I don't know why this thing doesn't see me. There we go. They're opening up, I think, tomorrow for the fall. So they got people over there getting things ready, getting a lot of traffic up and down the road. Everybody should be pretty excited because Angie's nursery, when it was here, was probably one of the most popular nurseries in the area. And when they went away, people were sad because we were like, there's very few nurseries around, and they were pretty much it. Now that Pa Bella's here, and the other thing that's cool about Pa Bella, and I think I mentioned this before, is they've also got a winery, and their wines are good. And they're not far from here, so we got the best of all worlds, man. Cheryl's favorite is plants, and they're right in our backyard, and my favorite is wine, and it's just down the street, so we got everything we could possibly want when it comes to that. Anyway, so we're gonna leave it off there. I'm gonna go take a shower, get ready. We're gonna do discipleship tonight. Then tomorrow we're gonna hit the ground running early in the morning, or as early as possible, because I want to try and get in here. I was kind of hoping to get all the insulation down so that I could come in first thing in the morning and start dropping sheets. But honestly, it doesn't take that long to throw this insulation down. It's not like the other stuff where I had to cut it up, you know, into the proper width and lengths. This one, all I gotta do is cut it in proper length. So I'm hoping to get that done tomorrow. We'll get the rest of that insulation in here and then lay down some more OSB. And like I said, I only gotta put like 1 and then a shorty to finish that gap, 2, 3. And I should be at where I need to be, right? 2, 3, yeah, 3, 4, 5.5. So only 5.5 pieces that I got to cut and put down. And actually, 2, 3 of them I don't have to cut at all. So 3 of them just go straight down. So by the end of tomorrow, for sure, we'll have all the OSB down that's going down pre the wall. And then it's just a matter of trying to get the rest of the waste and vent tied in. And then I've still got some more gas line stuff that I've got to do. And then get the rest of the HVAC stuff hooked up, which I started some stuff. It's minor, but it won't take long to get the rest of it, I hope. And I'm gonna say within the next 2 weeks, we're gonna be ready to schedule that wall. I'll have all the walls pre-built, and I can just set everything up with everybody and say, okay, let's do this. Guys, come over on Saturday and we'll knock out that wall, throw down the sheets, stand the walls and shear them. That's gonna be exciting. That I'm gonna try to make sure, I'm gonna see if Cheryl will be willing to come out here and video while we're working. I'll probably set up the handy cam too so that I can get some, won't get any good audio off of that, but we'll get good video, hopefully. As long as I can make sure that Winky's not winking at you. Anyway, so we're gonna cut off right there. We will see you guys on the next one.